back at it. Another week, another vid, and yeah, we're gonna keep grinding on this. Yeah, something monumental happened. My favorite movie changed, which it was like a rotation between Good Will Hunting, The Tree of Life, and The Last Black Man in San Francisco, but I'm set, bro. I'm set. I was watching a movie called Synecdoche in New York, and dang it. Funny thing is, I found this movie through TikTok. This guy was he was saying, I'm gonna recommend you a movie to watch from, you know, like anyone's that you put, like, because he's like a big film guy on TikTok, so I put The Last Black Man in San Francisco on The Tree of Life, and he told me Synecdoche in New York, and history has changed, so. This is gonna be a ton of spoiler alerts. So if you haven't watched the movie, then you can go get off the video and then watch the movie. But yeah. So it's about this guy who um, is in a relationship that where the two people are very opposite. Like him and his wife are like the complete opposite of people. Like he's obsessed with death. He's obsessed with what disease he might have, what symptom, what disease. He's just obsessed with death, and he can't stop talking about 24/7. Like in the mornings, he'd always read out who died, or what symptoms he might have and stuff like that. And he even in his sleep he would do that. And yeah, not in his sleep, but like before they went to bed, they would talk about it. And like whenever got the chance, he'd always talk about death. And then his wife, his first wife, was a complete opposite. She did not worry about things. She didn't really. Well, she like worried about things, but like I feel like I guess she basically waited for someone to become okay because she thought it'd be okay, but it didn't become okay. Like she she thought that their marriage was, after kids it was gonna get better. It didn't get better. She was worried about, she coughed in the beginning. She coughed, and she didn't really care, and it kind of signified how much. It's not even. It's not that big of a sniff. It's because it's kind of like, you know, um, not really caring. Not. It's not really caring, but it's like ignoring the problems that you have, and like, ignoring the problems in her marriage, ignoring the problems she was a big ignore, and that was kind of the opposite with the main guy Caden, who was the opposite, who did nothing but entrance himself in his problems, and both of them, they're conflicting, but that's kind of where it went up. They also had this daughter named Olive, who I'll get to later. Um, but yeah, so she ended up leaving him, and yeah, for like a job and for like a thing in Germany, and I guess she didn't look back. She never came back. She never came back. And I'm gonna give some precursors before I go on. So there's this thing with time in the movie where it goes by like in a second, and not in a second, but it's like, one scene will be October, the next scene will be November. The date, time just has no. It just goes by so fast, and okay, in my opinion, that kind of shows, you know, a lot about life, because I can't believe that I'm this old. How old am I? I can't believe that all the time has gone by. I'm never gonna be a 6-year-old kid in first grade again. I'm just never gonna happen. And it's sad, but you have to live with the truth. And that's the thing with time, is keep going. And yeah, that's kind of why. Yeah, so a lot of precursor. Before they left, there was a scene where she was holding hands with Olive, who was her first kid. She was holding hands with Caden, who's the guy I'm talking about, the playwright director. And then they're playing this game where there was a song that she sang. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the song was like, I can put a link to it, but everyone can search it out. Olive song or something like that. But it was just beautiful. It was the first time. It was crazy because I like not tore. I'm not saying I'm not trying to be quirky, but it was one of those songs where it makes you shed a tear. You know what I mean? Like that. Like you can't help it. Like even though I'm you know, a freaking privileged, you know, pretty decently. I mean, I don't want to go and bashing myself, but I'm a lot of things, and just that this particular song, I could just forget all the labels that society's given me, my race, my opinion, and I can just reminisce the time of being a kid, you know, the kid, someone once told me that kids are the next step to the spiritual realm. They're connected, and if you think about it in more reality-based sense, it's kind of kids are unfiltered. Unfiltered. Yeah, they are unfiltered. They're not obsessed with one person's opinion, or they don't judge others for their opinions. They love everyone. They laugh, they cry, they imagine. All when kids say they see they see monsters in their bed. They see under the bed. They see they see life in a fork. Sporky, like in Toy Story, they see life in everything. Like it's crazy. They see life in pieces of small bricks of Lego. They in forks in plants. They see life in everything, and I think that's something that we all should learn. Or not learn from, just I guess because we were all, but we were all kids, so it's in us. It's in us already. But a lot of us just being, in my opinion, a lot of us just being blinded by light. But just my opinion. But including me, I'm blinded by light most of the time. But this is like 25% of the time I'm not blinded by light. But let's go on with the movie. And so yeah, that was the scene. The scene I was talking about where she was holding hands with the main guy, and they're just the song came on. It just broke. It broke. And then it was my first tear of the movie. And then it went on. Then they left. The first wife took the kid with her, and yeah, they never came back. And I don't know if he just didn't have a clock, or he didn't really care, but he tried coping with it by doing stuff to keep him busy, like cleaning and stuff like that. But in the end, he never really truly got over the fact that he never got to see his own daughter. He never got to see his first wife. Same stuff in it. I guess he says a lot about like us, we try to put things to cope with I don't know, let's say your dog died, like one of my first dog died, what can you do? Hang out with friends, go to a restaurant, go on a hike, do whatever that frees your mind, that keeps you from thinking about it. But it happens. It's not gonna change the fact that it happened. It's not gonna, it's gonna make you feel better in the moment. Let's say, like a drug, it's gonna make you feel better in the moment. But after it ends, you go back to reality, and that's the thing. That's the thing with him. He started cleaning everything to help, I guess, break the feelings that he was feeling, and the loneliness, the anxiety. He just wasn't comfortable at all. And then there was this girl named Mabel, or something like that. Wrote that, my bad. Yeah, she really liked him, and he kind of not denied her first, but he was with the relationship. But then when he finally got the chance to be with her, he broke down over because he couldn't get over the past. His methods to deal with the pain just ended up being more like a drug, more like instant satisfaction, but long term, as I said before, and that's kind of yeah, and yeah, but I completely forgot to mention it. So he's also a play director, and um, he got this grant because he directed this play that was really good. He got this grant where he can create a film, a theater piece, a theater piece about anything he wanted to. And he decided to make one about his entire life, and in the sense he ends up spending his entire life trying to make this film. They rent the whole center of New York, and he spent his entire life trying to make a biopic of himself. You know, and left and right, you know, the time is going by super fast. Actors are literally dying because it's been so long. It took one time. It took 17 years to even come up with, you know, an idea for a title. And I think even though, you know, that might not be realistic, it might not take 17 years to do a theater piece. I feel like if you think about it, a lot of us are just waiting for something. We're waiting for the lightning strike. Like he was waiting for the lightning strike of his he was waiting for the lightning strike for a title, and I feel like a lot of us, and he was also waiting for, you know, a lightning strike of love, and a lightning strike of that, but in the end, he just ended up dying. You know, that's not a good way of putting it. I messed up that phrase because that's not what happened. But I'm kind of come back to that later. But everyone's waiting for a lightning strike instead of actually doing something, and like he's waiting for death. He's waiting for happiness, love. But we gotta go chase it. But I think I'm trying to say that we gotta go chase it now because, like, you know, you know, it's gonna come. Oh, it may never ever come. And eventually, even if it does come, you wasted 17. For example, you wasted like 17 years of your life, which you could be spending being with loved ones. Like, as you can see, when he was with Babel, right before she died, he said it was the happiest moment of his life. And I think that kind of says a lot about what we need to do as people, or that we should do. I'm not saying, you know, you need to. It's my opinion, but we need to, you know, be appreciative of, you know, everything. You know, the people that love us, our own self, and where else is just gonna go by in an instant. And, you know, right now, as I say, we're in a fraction of a second right now. A fraction of a fraction. It's gonna go by so quick. And yeah. But anyway, yeah, so he's in 3 relationships, and his daughter, the first Olive, ended up even dying for, like, and then there's nothing with his death. As like as soon as I feel like the thing is like play was picking up, just like esteem, I knew like that's what I feel like his mom, his dad, his own daughter died before, not first Olive, and I don't know why it was, and with the song I'm about to play at the end, it just makes me tear up. Like I'm doing a thing about it right now, and it's like it shows how like death. You know, even though he was the one worrying about death the entire time, every single person that he loved or knew died before him. Every single one. And it was like, I feel like he was filled with regret, filled with, you know, wanting to do something and he never accomplished. Play, you know, being with his wife, being with his kids, being there for someone, you know, not feeling lonely. It was just. I don't know, as a kid, like right now, for me at least, I'm not saying like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, with this whole quarantine and corona thing, it's just like, we're being forced to deal with ourselves. Other times, you know, we'd have school, we'd have, you know, sports, you know, vacations, all of that, just like, block out the reality of ourselves. And when we see the reality of ourselves, it's just, I'm not saying depressing, but it's just confusing. I mean, like, I look at myself and I'm like, who is this guy? Like, you know, this very, very, very self-conscious, multiple personality um, Indian kid who's, you know, part truth, part fiction, a walking contradiction. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. And I feel like, yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to, yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say. And I guess to go further along, or I guess we're trying to summarize the movie, but short words, I think, yeah, it's just basically to, you know, realize that we all have the same fate. We all have the same fate. Like, no matter who you are, no matter how rich, no matter how poor, no matter what path you take. But the thing is that we can create our own fate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can create, you know, our reality. We can create, you know, I guess not like how we choose, you know, I guess like how we choose to die, but how we, you know, who we're with, who makes up. We create our fate, and he created his fate of, you know, being regretful before death. He created that fate by the choices he made, but by our choices, by choosing, you know, love, by choosing the present, by choosing. Well, I'm not saying present because obviously that's something, but I'm saying just like staying in the present, not losing yourself, by choosing to be with loved ones, by choosing to appreciate, by choosing to say thank you, by choosing to do all these little things. You're not going to be one of those people, which is like 80% of people that end up, you know, lying on the deathbed, regretting who they were, regretting, you know, not talking to the girl instead of waiting for her to text, you know, for not being their true selves their entire life, instead of just being the product of someone else's opinion, just by choosing this path of freeness and worrylessness, which, I mean, obviously you gotta be worried. Everyone's worried, but like about the petty things. It's just like, you know what I mean? This movie just, I just loved it. It's my favorite movie. The actor Philip Seymour Hoffman. The funny thing is that he died, and yeah, like at the end of the movie he died, but it's kind of just, you know, how he died, but in both real life and in thing, but it just connects. It all connects. You know, wherever stuff, it all connects. It all connects. That's all I can say. Yeah, so y'all should go check out the movie. It's a great movie. I'm very tired. So, but yeah, peace out. Go check out the movie. And yeah, just stop trying to be someone you're not. Right? Just stop. Just be who you truly are. Like, you're gonna have pain. You're gonna, well, you shouldn't shy away from those things. It's normal. It's normal. You're not gonna not have fear. Like, I say that, oh, I'm fearless of someone. That is the least bit of thing. Like, I would never wear, you know, I would never, cut my hair, go get a buzz cut, and just walk. I wouldn't. I'm too self-conscious for that, and I have fear of how others are gonna judge me. And it's natural. I realize it's natural, and it's like, yeah, obviously, oh, you can make a statement saying, oh, F you society, I'm gonna do that, but like, it's just gonna make you unhappy in the long run. So like, and I like this hair. I like my luscious hair. I like it. It's cool. I like styling it. There's no. I don't want to change it. I don't want to make a statement. I just want to be myself. I just want to be happy. I just want to love. And I just don't want to waste my years, my very short life. I don't listen to being someone I'm not. And that's kind of my philosophy. I'm gonna go. I'm very tired. I already said that. But love y'all. Peace out. See you on the next vid. Yeah, boy, stay classy, Sandy.
I'm just a little person, one person in a sea of many little people who are not aware of me. I do my little job and live my little life, eat my little meals, miss my little kid and wife, and somewhere, maybe someday, maybe somewhere far away, I'll find a second little person who will look at me and say, I know you, you're the one I've waited for. Let's have some fun. Life is precious, every minute, and more precious with you in it. So let's have some fun. We'll take a road trip way out west. You're the one I like the best. I'm glad I found you, like hanging round you. You're the one I like the best. Somewhere, maybe someday, maybe somewhere far away. Somewhere, maybe someday, maybe somewhere far away. Somewhere, maybe someday, maybe somewhere far